Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight's episode, it is my choice. So I was thinking long and hard about, what I wanted to do for the night, and I figured maybe I should just do another career dives episode. Um, this one in particular is about a man that, revolutionized sports entertainment, pro wrestling as we see today. He is the Ayatollah of rock and roll, the pain maker, the learning tree. We're talking about Chris Jericho. And the reason why I am talking about Chris Jericho is because he brought back the pain maker gimmick on Dynamite last night, and also just to kind of just give him some flowers for doing the majority of the narrator work for Dark Side of the Ring um, for the past 5 seasons. Um, it's so interesting to actually just watch some of his stuff growing up, uh, and just to see like where he's gone from, like when he was just a Canadian kid all the way up to WWF, WWE, and where he is now in AEW, New Japan, and all that stuff. Um, but before we get started, hopefully you guys will enjoy this episode and like the video, subscribe. It's free. So, Christopher Keith Irvine, better known as Chris Jericho, is an American Canadian professional wrestler, rock musician, and actor. And it says, as of 2019 in January, he is signed to All Elite Wrestling, where he's also just referred to as Jericho. Noted for his over-the-top rock star persona, his in-ring technical prowess, and his ability to reinvent his character throughout the course of his career, which he has done multiple times. Jericho has been named by journalists and industry colleagues as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. During the 1990s, Jericho performed for ECW and WCW, which most people will know probably from his WCW run as of the conspiracy victim in '98 before he goes to WWF in 1999, and then 2001 he becomes the first undisputed WWF champion, thus the final holder of the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, and then having won and unified the WWF and World titles by defeating Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock on the same night. Um, Jericho has headlined multiple pay-per-views during his time with the WWF and WWE, including WrestleMania 18 and the inaugural TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view, which was in '09, and the Elimination Chamber matches and the shows themselves. He was inducted into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame in 2010. It says, Jericho has won the undisputed WWE Championship once, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship twice, and the World Heavyweight Championship, the 2002 to 2013 version, the infamous ladder match between Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels from No Mercy of that year in '09. He is the record-setting holder for the IC Championship at 9 times. He is the ninth, 10th Triple Crown champion, and also as well the fourth Grand Slam champion in history. In addition, he was the 2008 Superstar of the Year Slammy Award winner alongside The Big Show as Jericho, and they won 2009 Tag Team of the Year making him the only winner to both win Superstar and Tag Team of the Year. After his departure from WWE in 2018, Jericho signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling and became a one-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion, becoming the first man to have hold both WWE and IWGP versions of the Intercontinental Championship. In January 2019, Jericho joined All Elite Wrestling and became the inaugural holder of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship champion in August of that year. While also being in AEW, Jericho would also capture the ROH World Championship twice and the FTW championship, I should say. So we're kind of now getting more into the musical career here. In 1999, Jericho became the lead vocalist for the heavy metal band Fozzy, who released their anonymous debut album. I don't know why they just have to put in that word in there, but their debut album the following year. The group's earlier work is composed largely of cover versions, although they have focused primarily on the original material from their third album, All That Remains, onward. Jericho has also appeared on numerous TV shows over the years, including the 2011 season of Dancing with the Stars. He has hosted the ABC game show Downfall, the 2011 edition of the Revolver Golden Gods Awards, and the UK Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards in 2012 and 2017. And he's also been in like various movies, like I said. I know he was in MacGruber, but he was in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. He was in Terrifier 2 and 3, which that's kind of cool, I should say. I haven't watched any of those movies. Are those any good? I know they've probably been around for like years at this point, but I would want to watch them just to like get my fix of Art the Clown. So now we're going to be going on to the video game appearances. So in WCW, in 1998, he was in WCW Nitro, and then WCW/NWO Revenge, which that's also a very, very good game. WCW NWO Thunder, and WCW Mayhem. I think I remember playing Thunder. I don't remember playing. Oh, yeah, I remember playing Nitro. I remember playing Nitro and Thunder. Because I used to have the PS1 when I was still a kid. So then now we go into WWF, WWE. Jesus Christ, WWF and WWE. He was in WrestleMania 2000, the first SmackDown game, Royal Rumble, WWF No Mercy, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, SmackDown Just Bring It, WWF Raw, WrestleMania 18, Shut Your Mouth, Crush Hour, WrestleMania 19, Raw 2, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, Day of Reckoning, SmackDown the very first SmackDown vs. Raw video game. Day of Reckoning 2, excuse me, SVR 06, and then he was gone for all that time because he was doing his thing with Fozzy. And then he was in SVR 09, 2010, 2011. He was in All Stars, WWE 13 when they went over to THQ. And then he was in 2K14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19. And then after that, he was gone from the company. And then he was also in AEW Fight Forever. So, we are going to be looking at some of the achievements here, and there's a lot to get through. So I'm going to try to batten down the hatches and try to get this done. Okay, he was the one-time AEW World Champion, which that's so crazy. Like, he never got another shot at it ever again after that, which is kind of crazy. A one-time FTW World Champion. He was the AEW Dynamite Awards. From Bleacher Report, it was the pay-per-view moment of the year in 2021, which was Stadium Stampede, the Elite versus Inner Circle at Double or Nothing. This was during pandemic era. The biggest beatdown was Inner Circle jumps Orange Cassidy on Dynamite. Infamous moment. Baltimore Sun's feud of the year in 2008 was with Shawn Michaels, which that's a very, very personal rivalry. That happened on Raw, I think, and then Shawn tries to go to sucker punch Shawn, or Jericho tries to go to sucker punch Shawn, and then he accidentally hits Shawn's wife, but he connected with a punch to her face, and it was kind of Shawn kind of got all pissed off and kind of just took some liberties on beating his ass a little bit. The Canadian Rocky Mountain Wrestling North American Heavyweight Champion, the Canadian Rocky Mountain Wrestling North American Tag Team Champions with Lance Storm, as part of I think Thrill Seekers, and then the Canadian Rocky Mountain Wrestling Mid Heavyweight Champion 2 times. The Canadian Wrestling Connection Tag Team Champion with Lance Storm, the CMLL NWA World Middleweight Champion one time ECW Television Champion. That's crazy. He didn't go for the World Championship on ECW. IWA, or this is not IWA myself, but the International Wrestling Alliance, the IWA Junior Heavyweight Champion one time. Like I said, the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, PWI Faction of the Year with Inner Circle in 2021, Feud of the Decade 2000s with Shawn Michaels, Feud of the Year in 2008 with Shawn Michaels, Feud of the Year in 2021 with MJF, Most Hated Wrestler of the Year in 2002 and 2008, ranked number 2 in the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2009. 2-time Ring of Honor World Champion. Did he win it 2 times? That's crazy if he did. I guess he did. I would have to look more. So I just looked it up. So Chris Jericho did win it 2 times. I just forgot. He won it off of Claudio Castagnoli at Dynamite Grand Slam in September 2022, and then he won it 2 years later at a AEW Dynamite in Salt Lake City, and it was a ladder war with Mark Briscoe. So that's kind of interesting. I did not know he was a 2-time world champion. Okay, alright, so ranked number 3 of the 10 best wrestlers of 2016 in WWE. Ranked number 5 in the top 10 male wrestlers of 2019. Ranked number 18 of the 20th greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. So, now we're going to get more into WCW and WWF stuff here. Oh boy! He is a 4-time WCW Cruiserweight Champion, a 1-time WCW World Television Champion, a one-time undisputed WWF champion, three-time World Heavyweight champion, two-time WCW/World champion, a nine-time WWF/WWE Intercontinental champion, a two-time United States champion, a one-time European champion, one-time Hardcore champion, two-time WWE Tag Team champions, one time with Edge and then one time with Big Show. A record five-time WWF/World Tag Team champion with five different partners. One with Chris Benoit, one with The Rock, one with Christian, one with Edge, and then one with the Big Show. The Bracken Rights Trophy 2009. Remember when that was a fucking thing? The Queen's Cup in 2001. That was the feud with William Regal. The Undisputed WWF Championship Tournament, which was the Vengeance Tournament. The fourth Grand Slam champion, ninth Triple Crown champion, three-time Slammy Award winner. Extreme Moment of the Year in 2014, executing a crossbody on Bray Wyatt from top of the cage on Raw. That's interesting. Superstar of the Year in 2008, and then Tag Team of the Year in 2009 with The Big Show. Then we have Wrestling Association R, which is a Japanese promotion ran by Tenryu, that's kind of interesting. AWR International Junior Heavyweight Champion one time, and then a one-time International Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with Gato. I think that's Team No Respect, I think, if I could be wrong. The WWA Tag Team Champion with El Dandy. Every time I hear El Dandy's name, it reminds me of the promo that Bret Hart cut on El Dandy, and he's like, the one person that I fear the most is El Dandy, and it's like, whoa, like what the fuck? Okay, going into Wrestling Observer newsletter here. Wrestler of the Year in 2008, 2009, and 2019. Best on Interviews, 2003, 2008, 2009, and 2019. Best on Interviews of the Decade in 2000s. View of the Year was Shawn Michaels in 2008. Pro Wrestling Match of the Year in 2008 was Shawn Michaels in a ladder match at No Mercy. That was the World Heavyweight Championship match. Most Underrated Wrestler in 1999 and 2000, which that's high praise there. Reader's Favorite Wrestler in 1999. United States / Canada MVP in 2019. Most Charismatic in 2019. Best Box Office Draw in 2019. Best Pro Wrestling Book in 2011 for Undisputed. How to Become the World Champion in 1,372 Easy Steps. That's crazy. Worst Gimmick of 2024 was the Roaring Tree, which I'm glad that he got rid of that. And then Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame is Class 2010. And then in music, he got Revolver Magazine's 100 Greatest Living Rock Stars in 2011. Loudwire Cage Match Hall of Fame for Sandpaper as a member of Fozzy in 2012, and then Gold for Judas by the RIAA as a member of Fozzy in 2022. Every time I hear Chris Jericho's theme, it's always been Judas, and it's always been very, very good. So I think that will probably do it for this episode. I'm looking at the Luchas de Apuestas. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. But this is like the win match, winner puts a wager, loser puts a wager. It's kind of like if they do like mask versus hair or whatever. I think from what I can see here, he was Corazon de Leon. Yes. Okay. So I was right. Okay. Which that's funny. So that was in Mexico. That was 1993. Jesus. Chris Jericho was the Cruiserweight Champion at this time. He defended against Juventud Guerrera at Super Brawl 8 in 1998. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Nash, hair versus hair on Raw. Rey Mysterio's mask versus the IC Championship at the Bash. I think, yeah, I was supposed to say, I think that was the Bash that had um, uh, crap. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it was Tile versus Mask. I thought they would have. I thought they had no. Oh, that was Extreme Rules. I'm sorry. That was No Holds Barred. Um, but yeah, I thought that was way sooner. Chris Jericho Hair versus Ortiz at Road Rager in AEW, and then Mask versus Championship at Dynasty last year. Um, yeah, it was the ROH Championship. Okay, that's right. So that will do it for this episode tonight. Yeah, it was actually kind of cool to like look at some of his like championship history and all stuff because like he is very well decorated in WWE and WCW and AEW. You know, he's still there to this day 7 years later. And like I said, like, you know, he's always just been finding ways to like reinvent himself, which has always been crazy. Because you know he is literally the man of 1,000 gimmicks. He like you know because like when he first came in, he was doing the inner circle thing, and then when that started to kind of like dissipate and go its own way, then he becomes like you know like just Chris Jericho, like just Le Six Gods and stuff like that. And then he goes to Japan and does his own thing, and then like he just finds ways to reinvent himself, and it's always been cool to see him do that. Um, and plus like he's like, gosh, how old is he now? He's mid 50s, and he's still kicking and still doing his thing and still kicking ass in AEW. The reason why I brought it up is because you know he's going to be fighting Tommaso Ciampa at Redemption in Canada. And he's brought back the Painmaker. And the first time I ever thought, or what I saw the Painmaker was like New Japan. It was New Japan. When he fought uh Kenny, Kenny Omega, and it's you know it's always been stuck with me that you know he comes over to Japan and just does his own thing, and then like he has really great matches with a lot of people, and he took a very brief like a long hiatus for a long time, and then he's just just doing his thing, um and it says like on the um the liturgy would disband as Chris Jericho would blame losing the ROH Championship on Big Bill and Brian Keith before he would leave until, Bill and Keith makes a change. And then he doesn't come back until the April 1st, 2026 episode of Dynamite in Winnipeg. So it was a good, year almost. And I think that was good for him to do that because he was starting to get a little bit overexposed, a little bit, just kind of just on TV. And there was a lot of people being like, just go home, So he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home, and he did, and that's actually a good thing that he did because I think he just needed that break, just needed that time off, um, which is good for people. But yeah, that will wrap up this episode. So, If you made it to the very end of this video, please make sure to follow us on all social media links in the description below, which will take you to the Linktree page, which will take you to our Instagram pages, Twitter pages, my podcast Reddit page is on there, and my gaming YouTube channel. And tonight's song of the night is going to be a Fozzy song. Why not? The Fozzy song that I'm going to be doing tonight is going to be Enemy, and that is from All That Remains. There is a music video on it, and yeah, that is it. And I will see you guys next Thursday. Peace.